St. Louis Cardinals baseball is presented by Budweiser. This Bud's for you by Central Bank, the hometown bank of the St. Louis Cardinals. Visit cardinalschecking.com and buy your quality Ford dealers. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 48 years. Tower Grove Park is in bloom here in mid-July. It's a beautiful night for a ball game. A beautiful night, Brad, for a series win with one more to play tomorrow on an 83-degree night. It is humid. We'll see how efficiently Matthew Liberatore can work here in Game 2.
Yeah, well, the Cardinals were able to take care of business last night. They did so on the road in Atlanta against them, and you're right, it would be nice to see a repeat performance from Matthew Liberatore. We just showed you the numbers last time out against the Braves. He was fantastic through 5 strong, only 1 earned run, struck out 9 in that ball game. Here's a look at the pitch arsenal for Matthew Liberatore, the way that he's going to go about it. 4-seam, slider, curve. That big signature curve has been following him since draft day. Changeup, sinker, cutter, and the occasional splitter from Matthew Liberatore.
The Cardinals defense behind Matthew for Game 2 tonight. Mason Wynn is at short. J.J. Weatherholt is at second. Blaze Jordan and Alec Burleson, your cornermen. Ivan Herrera is behind the plate. Walker headed to the All-Star game after action tomorrow. Nathan Church in center, and Lars Nootbaar is the man in left. For the Braves, they're 54-39. They have a lead in the National League East, but it's a slim lead over the Phillies and the Marlins. Their Menard starting lineup missing a big component in Ronald Acuna Jr., who could be back for them after the break. The Braves have a ton of guys on the injured list, yet Walt Weiss, I think, has done an excellent job keeping it together, knowing they've got 6 prime pitchers on the injured list and 4 hitters that are shelved at the moment in Atlanta.
Well, one of the most impressive parts is they have pitched, especially their bullpen. If they get into a game late with a lead, watch out. Hopefully the Cardinals have something to say about that. But even with the guys on the IL, and especially Acuna, they got a dangerous lineup. They can hit you. One of the biggest keys is got to keep them in the ballpark. Fortunately, at Busch Stadium, a little easier task.
Michael Harris II faces Ollie's squad in the first inning. He's a 16-homer man. And with Acuna sidelined, it's Harris who has leadoff duties for Atlanta. The Cardinals have done a good job against him. Harris just 2 hits in 15 at-bats. So 3 left-handed batters, 1 switch hitter for Atlanta at the top of their lineup against a left-hander, Matthew Liberatore, who gets ahead with his first pitch here in Game 2.
Yeah, oddly enough, some lefties have had their way early with Matthew Liberatore, more of the average than the power numbers.
That's right there for a strike. A good sinker. Dan Iasonia, the crew chief, will have ball strike duty for Game 2. Long night last night. Everybody was happy to get a good night's sleep after the game ended after midnight this morning. And Libby, a breaking ball. There's that curveball. And 1 up, 1 down, a 3-pitch strikeout.
I like that start right there. 1, 2, 3, big curveball for the finish. This thing started at the shoulder of the left-handed hitting Harris, ended down and away, and a nice start here for Matthew.
Ozzie Albies, a 14-homer man. Switch hits, bats .269. He has historically killed left-handed pitching and takes outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
You're not going to get much closer to the dish than Ozzie Albies does, too. That right foot dug in there as close as you can get. Starts open, though, so he's able to keep that stance open on anything on the inner half. Let's see. Ozzie digging in, that right foot right there on the chalk.
Yeah, by rule, your whole foot does not have to be entirely within the batter's box. First, the 2-0 pitch is lifted and curling down the right field line. And foul. Oh, the attendant had a chance to make the play in the stands and whiffed.
All right, let's give credit where credit is due. A few variables there. First of all, he's got to pick up his stool. And then he's got to put the stool over the rail, then get over there himself and then try to make a grab. Chip, am I making an excuse for him? Maybe. But there's a lot that goes into a play like that, and you know it. You know it.
2 balls and a strike upstairs for Albies. All you have to do is have part of that foot touching the chalk, and you are considered within the batter's box. Wide open stance for the Braves second baseman. And that's a perfect pitch. Full count.
Yeah, Ozzie felt like that one was high. A little early, though, to be utilizing a challenge here.
Ironman Matt Olson hits next. And the 3-2 pitch is upstairs, ball 4. That was the key to Libby's good start in Atlanta. When I was able to meet with Ollie today, he told me that Libby was ripping sliders down at Truist Park. That was a big key against the Braves down in Atlanta.
Well, that was the biggest pitch he was able to lean on as a member of the bullpen. Remember how dominant he was for Dusty's pitching staff out there. That was a pitch that he just rear back, throw it just like a fastball, and had some big-time depth to it. A pitch that you'd love to see him be able to get right back to.
When I say Matt Olson is an Iron Man, I mean it not just for the Braves, but for Major League Baseball. He passed Dale Murphy for most consecutive games in Atlanta franchise history last night. And he's playing in his 877th consecutive big league game tonight. 0-2.
That is so difficult to do, and like I understand if you're at home, so they play a game. What it takes to be ready for a big league ball game day in and day out is incredible, and then to be able to play at the level that Matt Olson plays at. This is a perennial all-star. I mean, this guy is one of the best in the business. So impressive that he answers the bell every day.
Yeah, he's on pace for a 45 homer season for Atlanta. Not as many RBIs as we've seen from him, in large part because Acuna's been hurt out of the leadoff spot. But you're right, he's been a great man to follow Freddie Freeman at first base for the Braves.
Yeah, if you're going to get rid of that guy, you're going to let him walk, you better get it right of bringing another guy in, and they absolutely did that in their deal.
That one got away from Herrera. It's a wild pitch that takes away the double play chance.
This is a sinker that Matthew wanted to make sure he got it down. Unfortunately, way too far down there.
So an RBI chance for Olson. 2-2 count, 1 out. Just underway, first inning here at Busch. And laced out of play. I'm going to get on my soapbox because I mentioned his name, Dale Murphy. It's an absolute joke. He's not in the Hall of Fame. Great player in the 80s. Was a guy that really put the Braves on the map in the early 80s under Joe Torre. One more pitch from Liberatore for Olson. And he got him with another breaking ball. This time there's the slider, 2 strikeouts. Jim Powell for many years was a broadcaster for the Braves, and he had a great statement about his disappointment that Murphy's not in the Hall of Fame. One of the conditions is be an exemplary presence for our sport. If you're going to exclude guys on the basis of not being exemplary, how can you not include one like Dale Murphy, in my humble opinion? I hope that oversight is corrected for the 2-time MVP with over 2,000 hits. And in 1987, 44 homers, 105 ribbies, and 115 runs scored.
I feel like it's been long enough, right, for Dale Murphy. Totally agree with you.
2 outs, Drake Baldwin, the DH. And a shot to second, and right there is J.J. Weatherholt. And a good start for Libby. A couple of strikeouts, a walk sandwiched between, but a goose egg to get things started in downtown St. Louis. Well, it's been a busy weekend for J.J. Weatherholt. Congratulations to him. He'll be a Cardinal through the 2034 season. He's atop the Menards starting lineup. Jordan Walker's headed to the All-Star game. Lars Nootbaar, Mason Wynn follow him. Brian Torres, the DH tonight. Blaze Jordan from Mississippi would love to beat up on the Braves. Nathan Church is ninth. Ronaldo Lopez, he too, though, had an excellent outing against the Cardinals in Atlanta and pressed into starting duty because of all those Braves pitching injuries.
Yeah, look, he's been in now 22 games. This is 9th start as this thing starts off. A little ground ball easily to the right side to get out number 1 on 1 pitch. Pitch arsenal for Reynaldo Lopez. Always been a pretty hard thrower. 4-seam there in the mid-90s. Slider, curve, and changeup for Lopez. Originally signed back in 2012. That was by the Nationals. He's bounced around. He's part of that Eaton deal from went to the White Sox, Angels, Guardians, and now in, I believe, his 3rd year in Atlanta.
He's never lost to the Cardinals. Time to change that tonight. Last 3 starts, 3 earned runs, 18 innings. So he has been a godsend for Walt Weiss, giving them some stability in their starting 5. And now he'll face Cardinals All-Star Ivan Herrera. He's our Bet365 betting odds. Let's see if he can pick up a hit or more. Braves going to challenge that first pitch, and they're right. ABS powered by T-Mobile. No balls, 1 strike for Herrera. "11 homers, 40 RBIs for Ivan, batting .251.
It was really cool getting an opportunity. We showed it right before the game of the All-Star selection and the recognition of Ivan Herrera by Moises Rodriguez, assistant GM.
Yeah, we see the emotion of the players. It's got to be emotional for guys like Moises, who's known Herrera since he was a teenager.
Yeah, drafted him as brought him in as a baby. And I mean, all of a sudden you look around, Herrera has been in this organization longer than anybody. I mean, it's crazy how quickly things happen.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And off his knuckles. And don't know if Ivan's going to get a chance to play. Hope he does up in Philadelphia. But the other side note of that is he's replacing a pretty good player too in Shohei Ohtani, who's having some knee troubles. So that's a neat sidebar to his All-Star selection. 1-2 pitch. Late swing. That almost got Stubby on the way by. Yep. Straighten it out, Ivan. That's what Stubby just said. Outfield swings around slightly toward right for Herrera. And it's rolled toward short. Mateo can't pick it up. There's a break. Herrera will reach with 1 out.
Well, just a slow developing play right here. Mateo going after it. Think he has the hop time, that just can't get down low enough. So an early error here by Mateo in this Braves defense.
That's only his 2nd. They've got a couple of Gold Glovers out there. Olsen at first, Dubon in left, and let me correct myself. That was scored a hit.
Yeah, that's me. I said that wrong. Obvious hit. That's on me. Guy's an all-star. That's a knock.
Fair enough. He'll take it. Runner at first, 1 out, and Alec Burleson is next. Burley at 15 and 66 in the homer and RBI columns. He's 3 hits away from 100 this season. Very short lead at first in a scoreless game. And that one framed nicely by Joey Bart, the Atlanta catcher. Two balls and a strike. What's your Toyota key for the Redbirds to win the series tonight?
Yeah, for them against Reynaldo Lopez, it's don't expand your zone, man. Lopez has always been a guy that had electric stuff ever since the Nationals brought him in 2012, but he's had inconsistent command. That's something you got to be able to take advantage of. Don't chase him around. Don't help him out. Now, that being said, oftentimes against Lopez, the best pitch you're going to get is the first one. Like he like other pitchers, wants to be able to get ahead. He uses his four seam to do that. So you might see the Cardinals try to jump that first pitch. That's exactly what J.J. Weatherholt did. But as these counts keep moving around, try your best not to expand.
Yeah, the numbers bear that out. When Lopez is ahead in the count, opponent's hitting 155. Behind in the count, over 300. So you double your chances if you can see ball one. Burley yanks that out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Burleson's had a super first half for St. Louis. He's got a great shot at a 25 homer, 90 RBI year. We're hoping for even more than that. after the All-Star festivities. Hard to believe we're at game number 94.
I feel like with Burley too, the numbers are just he puts up big numbers, but it's so quiet. Like, I feel like that's just a testament to him, because you just expect it. Like, all of a sudden you look up, he's hitting homers left and right, he's got a ton driven in.
Herrera takes off and fouled away.
But it's great to see the consistency in that lineup. Cardinals have needed that. Like, he's been a constant the last few years.
Yeah, I don't want to say he's been overshadowed, but with the kind of year Walker is having, a breakout season, and the obvious infusion of talent J.J. Weatherholt has given, Burleson's kind of silently in the middle of your lineup.
Yeah, and I don't think he minds that one bit. This is a guy that just comes to work. He doesn't care about the fanfare and any of that. He just wants to come to work and help his club.
That stroke to center. Harris on the fly. Recovers shy of the track. He's got excellent closing speed, and like Andrew Jones, who's headed to the Hall of Fame, he plays a very shallow center, and he goes back and gets a deep drive here.
Yeah, that's such a good skill set to be able to have. If you are comfortable going back on the baseball, you can steal a lot of hits in front of you. Well, he's able to steal extra bases there behind him on that hot shot.
So 2 outs, Herrera back at first, and here's Jordan Walker. He had a big RBI hit last night. 74 runs batted in before the All-Star game. That's rarefied air. He's the only major league player this year with 20 or more homers, 10 or more steals, and 70 or more RBIs. The only one this season.
Another challenge, another one correct. ABS powered by T-Mobile. Bottom of the zone, Dan Iasonia not picking it up so far.
He might get some between innings feedback on that. That's one of the other benefits of the ABS system. No balls in his strike. Pitch number 16 from Lopez coming up. And a base hit the other way. He is so calm, so confident, and so willing to take what opposing pitchers are giving him. That was a missile hit through a wide open hole on the right side.
It seems like every time you look up, Jordan Walker, when he's hitting something, it's over 110. Yet again, this one comes in at 97, leaves at 113.8, right through a wide open right side.
So Walker's reached base in 17 straight games, one shy of his career high. And now Lars Nootbaar a chance to put the Cardinals in front with a 2-out hit. Cardinals have done a really nice job in July of cashing in, Brad, their opportunities to score. That's our Hyundai in the driver's seat.
Well, you need it, right? And in July, the Cardinals have been doing it. 329 the average. Remember, before that, June struggled mightily with runners in scoring position. That's what we've seen this season. Little ebbs and flows, right? You have some times where the offense is cruising. That was the beginning of the season. Second month, we saw the Cardinals pitching staff really carry the way. Now back in July, the bats are picking up.
Nootbaar with 9 ribbies, hitting over 300 here at home. They play him straight away. There is some room down the right field line if he pulls something here. And slashes that to the left. A ball and 2 strikes. Lopez coming off a no decision against the Mets. 1 run in 5 innings. Struck out 5, walked 2. He's facing his 5th batter here in the 1st inning. Swing, high, fly ball, belted right. It's a 3-run Nootbaar.
That is how you get the party started at Busch Stadium. Lars Nootbaar is 3rd of the year. He's now driven in 12. He started on the IL. The Cardinals needed some consistency in the middle of the order. Needed a little protection for Jordan Walker, and Noot provides it.
That was no cheapie either. A 3-run, 2-out homer in the 1st.
435 feet. Beautiful swing. It's on the hip, Chip. You saw it right there.
Mason Wynn is next. By the way, where's the home run chain? Newt's got to wear that, doesn't he?
Oh, he's got it on.
Oh, I didn't see it.
They placed it on him quickly. You were busy looking at something else.
Well, I thought that was his regular.
You thought that was his regular chain?
Yeah.
What do you think he is, Mr. T? Pity the fool that throws a curveball down the middle.
First 3 RBI game for Nootbaar since last April, also against the Braves. So that home run brings Mason up, and it's going to force Lopez to throw even more pitches. Both managers would love their starters to get through at least 6 tonight with the long delay yesterday and all the bullpen work that took place.
Yeah, what a job the Cardinals bullpen did.
Yeah.
I know we focused on the save for Riley O'Brien and a big one, but the Cardinals bullpen stepped up huge.
Another challenge.
We're going to challenge this one.
And Joey Bart's going to be right. And Dan Iasonia might need a hug. ABS powered by T-Mobile. It is a strike.
Yeah, there's probably not much else if you're Dan. You want to get this inning over with. You probably at this point say, hey, my bad. That's on me.
Ground ball towards short. Mateo's got this one, and his throw in time. An error pays, or not an error, an infield hit that should have been an error pays dividends, as does a Nootbaar 3-run homer into the seats and right after one in St. Louis. A great start for the Cardinals. They lead the Braves 3-zip.
Michelin, motion for life.
There's your homer hitting man. Lars Nootbaar makes it 3-0. The Braves made a defensive mistake that gave the Cardinals an extra hitter, and Nootbaar took advantage of that. And we head to the second inning with Mauricio Dubon set to face Matthew Liberatore, who punched out 2 Braves in his first inning.
Yeah, how about a fast one right here for Matthew Liberatore? Put the Braves, put Reynaldo Lopez right back out there on a muggy evening. This game is starting.
Yeah, we're missing Dan Iasonia, I believe, and as Ivan Herrera took the last warm-up pitch, he was looking around to the on-deck circle and pointed to his left wrist like, should this not be an umpire violation? But hopefully nothing wrong with Iasonia. So we've got another delay here in St. Louis. Of course, busy day around the major leagues. The Cardinals and all the other big league teams got the first day of the amateur draft underway and completed. We're very excited about the prospects the Cardinals selected. And hopefully we'll have Randy Flores up at some point tonight to talk about the Cardinals selection.
Yeah, can't wait. Cardinals picked 13th overall. They had 7 players selected today, but their number 13 pick, Trevor Condon, an outfielder out of high school in Georgia, left-handed bat. One of the biggest comps that he continues to get is Pete Crow Armstrong. If you like that skill set, I would say I like that skill set quite a bit. So excited to hear from Randy about what made him set apart and the other 6 picks in day 1 of the draft. Pretty exciting day.
Herrera just pointed to Iasonia and said 2 strikes, pitch clock twice. I think he had a problem with his belt with all the buzzers and the like. So he's back in working order. So's Libby to face Dubon, the left fielder for Atlanta. 7 homers, 50 driven in for him. He's been a very nice pickup for the Braves. And sure enough, Iasonia gets nailed with a foul ball on the right shoulder.
Yeah, he's laughing about it, giving the thumbs up to the Cardinals dugout, saying he's good to go. Oh, that's not a fun way to come back. After the fastball up, Libby drops that curveball at the bottom. Didn't get him to fish for it.
This is Dan Iasonia's 27th year as a big league umpire. Joined the major league staff in 1999. And I'm sure you saw in the news the other day, some of the veterans are starting to age out. 7 of them are going to resign at the end of the season, at the end of their contract. So we wish those gentlemen well.
Yeah, congratulations, right? I mean, this is for all the they take a lot of guff, you know, as umpires. There is no home crowd for the umpire, although the Tarps Off crew tries sometimes. They give them shout outs in the roll call.
Libby's breaking stuff is good. That slider and curveball, Atlanta's not picking up the difference yet. And he already has 3 strikeouts.
Well, it tells you maybe how good it looks coming out of the hand, and they're not recognizing it. This wasn't one of his better curveballs in terms of location, but what he did do is spin it very well. It was a tight curveball at the top, and he couldn't catch up to it.
Austin Riley. One of the keys for the Braves in the second half is to solve this guy's offensive woes. 1 home run for Austin Riley in a 36-game stretch. This ballpark has always been one he's enjoyed hitting. He does have an RBI in this series, but where has the power gone for Austin Riley?
Well, that's the thing, too. When you have a power profile like this young man does, you start thinking about it. It's in your head. And then you're trying to break out of it with every single swing. That swing right there had "I want to pull the ball" written all over it. Well, if you try to pull 95 away, you're going to get out of line. And that's kind of what's going on here. I feel like a lot of it for him is the swing decisions.
He's quickly down 2 strikes and fouled straight back. And we say it all the time. When you're struggling, it feels like, I'm sure, it's an 0-2 count before you've stepped in for the first time. And Riley this year, 111 strikeouts, only 31 walks. Tarps off, crowd wants a strikeout. And they've got it. Another breaking ball. His curveball is dancing tonight. 4 of them for Liberatore, 2 outs. The ultimate goal of an MLB fan, seeing it all. The MLB Journey to 30 sweepstakes presented by T-Mobile is the ultimate bucket list. Enter now for your chance to win trips to all 30 ballparks at MLB.com/journey to 30 sweeps. Eli White is the batter. He's back after paternity leave, so congratulations to Eli and his family. He's batting .218 on the year. Pop fly foul, 1 ball, 1 strike. The challenge facing this part of the lineup for Atlanta, White and Mateo don't have a lot of power, but if they put the ball in play, they can flat out fly.
Yeah, a couple of burners, right? So you just want to make sure you're, first of all, no free passes. Attack these guys. Let your defense do some work.
One ball, 2 strikes. Dan Iasonia, one more note on him. The home plate umpire considered a career in firefighting before becoming a big league arbiter.
It's an interesting combo between those two. I think he picked a very good career, done it a long time and done it at a crazy high level. Wonder what was the difference, like how he fell the way of umpire.
In the air, popped up. Well, I'll bet he likes pitchers that can climb the ladder successfully, as Walker handles that. And that is the end of the Atlanta second. I'm getting the look from Brad. He obviously missed me. 3-0. We head to the home second.
Big money at Menards.
Good start for the Cardinals offense and Matthew Liberatore, and that's a good time to send it down to the cat, Jim Hayes.
Yeah, we're with Dusty Blake so far for Libby. 4 Ks, curveball looking really good. What are you seeing?
Yeah, he's done a good job getting himself into 2 strike counts. Obviously, if we want to get punch outs, we got to get to 2 strikes first, and so doing a good job getting himself in some favorable count leverage there. Yeah, and the first slider was pretty good, mixed in the curveball with the lefties, and then right there the curveball is good and a few of those punch out opportunities. So yeah, something to keep building on, but if we don't get there, it's hard to punch guys out.
Getting an early lead does a little cushion take a little of the pressure off for a pitcher, or is that just something announcers say?
I think sometimes when you see a big score early, that can help contribute to that. I think regardless, though, up a couple, down a couple, pitchers have a process they got to stay committed to, they got to trust, and so in this scenario,
that's a triple.
Heck yeah.
That's a stand-up triple.
Love that. But yeah, so regardless of a really big number early, you got to settle in, you got to attack. Your process doesn't really change.
Last thing, 2 hours, 43 minutes rain delay. You guys got to fill 6 with the bullpen. How much of a challenge has that been during this stretch of game?
Yeah, a lot of credit to those guys. A lot of credit to Hooley keeping them in a good spot out there and keeping them prepared with their plan and ready to go in. They've done a great job taking the ball. They've done a great job on the days they've had recovery opportunities to take advantage of that as well. But yeah, a lot of credit goes to those guys for staying prepared, staying locked in, doing their job in their lane and giving us that look.
Dusty, thanks for the chat.
Yeah, of course.
Chip, I gave you a guy a third right now. Take it away.
That was great. 10th triple for the Cardinals team. Second for Torres. And Blaze Jordan, who knows how to put the bat on the ball in this spot, has a chance to extend a Cardinals lead.
The Braves have the infield in. We've talked about this a little bit. As you take a look at Hooley there on the left. Julio Rangel, the bullpen coach here for the Cardinals, does a great job. KT there on the right. KT's going to be throwing in the home run derby, by the way, for Jordan Walker. That's going to be fun. No pressure there, being the guy that just has to pump in strikes. The new format helps him, though.
Yeah, no clock. It's on swings. So that'll be fun, and Jim will have more on that in just a little bit. But KT's done it before.
Yes.
Ollie was telling us a funny story about when he was throwing with Albert Pujols years ago.
Yeah, the short story of it is Albert had him throw to him at the Derby. This is in 2022, and he told KT, he said, hey, whatever you do, just don't look up. Just don't look up, and you're good. And he said KT got right to the mound. He looked up, and he went, oh, blank.
Thank you for using that word.
Yeah, a lot of people.
We get the gist.
Yeah, a lot of people at this. So that's an exciting time for, obviously for Jordan, but for KT as well, and a much-deserved honor for him. This entire staff works so hard. That'll be a great perk.
Hot shot to short. So the Cardinals strike out and ground out after a leadoff triple. That hurts. And now Weatherholt will try to rescue us in a 3-0 game. Infield in, saves Atlanta a run. Braves are without Ha-Sung Kim, who's injured, and even when he was active, he wasn't all that effective for them. Looking for a better second half from him. Here's JJ, swung at the first pitch, as Brad suggested, was in the scouting report and rolled out. A couple of years ago, the Cardinals took him 7th. The Redbirds had the 13th overall pick, and they took a high school kid out of Georgia with their first-round selection. Randy Flores, we're told, will be joining us in the next couple of minutes. What an exciting, but I'm sure exhausting time for all of the men who run the big league draft rooms on this date.
Yeah, there's so much that goes into it, right? I mean, you do so much diligent work on all of these players, and boy, I mean, and Randy will talk about this more as this ground ball is up the middle, and that's going to end the inning. But so much work goes in. It'll be interesting to talk about how it all went down today.
3-0 St. Louis. We head to the third.
The Jock in the Box.
From the field to finance, the Stiefel patch on every Cardinals jersey represents more than a logo. It's a symbol of strength, strategy, and success. From investment banking to wealth management, Stiefel helps clients pursue their financial goals. 3-0 St. Louis as we head to the third inning. Bart, Mateo, and Harris are up for Atlanta. Libby's looking good. 2 strikeouts in the first, 2 more in the second. Cardinals have 4 hits already in the game. Couldn't cash in a leadoff triple. Hope that doesn't cost us later in the game. As Bart back in his hometown, went to Georgia Tech and started the season with the Pirates. The Braves have used a team record 8 different catchers this year.
Man, that's so hard to do and have sustained success with your pitching staff, especially the bullpen, right? Like having those connections and being able to be on the same page. It's actually been very impressive.
That's why, again, I say ignore the standings to a certain degree for Walt Weiss's club, because he doesn't have his club. He's going to get it in the next couple weeks. But the fact that they still lead the East, as injury riddled as they've been, is really good work. So was that. Nice pitch, evens the count.
All right. Got that bottom of the zone dialed in now. Chip, I know you know Walt Weiss well. Do you think that was the right selection there?
I thought it was inevitable. He's been there so long, for so many years. Brian Snitker's right-hand man, knows the staff, knows the people, knows the quote-unquote Braves way. And he's got managerial experience, too, and knows what the expectation level is in Atlanta. It's not just to get to the playoffs, but go deep into them. Swing and a miss. Another breaking ball, this time the slider. 5 strikeouts for Liberatore through 2 1/3 innings.
Man, it's all been on the breaking stuff, too, whether it be the curveball or the slider. Chevy pitch track, this time it's the slider. Starts middle, ends up down and in, and gets him to swing right over the top of it.
And I'm guessing, Brad, I said it earlier, I'm guessing that ball's coming in the same tunnel as the curveball.
No, it has to be, absolutely. And that's when you're going to have success, when everything looks the same.
To center. Church in the bright sunshine takes care of Mateo, quickly 2 out. So Libby halfway to his career high of 10 strikeouts. He turned that trick on May 25th in Milwaukee. So he's gone through the lineup the first time. He's allowed 1 base runner. That was a first inning walk to Ozzie Albies. Harris struck out to start the game. He had a 9-game hitting streak interrupted last night with an 0 for 4. So think about this. He's got the cutter, he's got the curveball, he's got the slider, all for the right-handed batters.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of things to be able to think about, right? That slider is definitely one that's very tough against some of these lefties. And then, like, for Libby, his fastball has never been a pitch at this big league level that has been a dominant pitch, but it's a pitch that sets up all the other ones, right? He still throws it 95, 96. So if he can change eye levels with one like that, now rip a nice slider off of it, start at middle, down and away, that's where you get him to swing and miss.
Or roll over to the shortstop. Mason's got it, fires to first in time, and Libby has his second straight 1-2-3 inning. All-star Ivan Herrera leads off the Cardinals' third. We enjoy a 3-run lead. Let's check out our BJC Healthcare injury report, and it's disappointing that Shohei Ohtani will not be able to star on baseball's brightest stage up in Philadelphia.
Yeah, look, arguably, maybe not even arguably, the biggest star in all of baseball. That's the guy that you want to see, but it's about health first. It's about his team winning, so they're going to take a little time off, and hopefully for him and the Dodgers' sake, they'll be ready to rock and roll down the stretch. But disappointing you won't see him there, but very, very exciting for Ivan Herrera.
And on this very hot night, Herrera leads off the third inning, an infield hit, and scored a run on the Nootbaar 3-run homer. Didn't get that. No balls and a strike. First Panamanian since Mariano Rivera to head to the All-Star game. Well, that's an awesome honor. And pulled foul. It's 0-2. Herrera's another guy that just fits in so well with the culture that Ollie Marmol and his staff are building here as Riley makes a nice play. He's always got a smile on his face. He's always got a word to say to everybody who's in that clubhouse. And as you know, he posts every day. He's played in every game this season for the Cardinals.
That's what you want, a guy that wants to answer the bell, the guy that wants to be out there. Look, he wants to be catching every single day too, but you're trying to keep that bat healthy and keep him in the lineup, but always has a smile, does a great job, to your point, of preparing every single day.
Burleson to first, and Matt Olson cleans that up quickly. 4 straight groundouts recorded by Ronaldo Lopez, and in the blink of an eye, Jordan Walker is up with the bases empty and 2 outs. As I mentioned, it's going to be a great home run derby grouping in Philadelphia. Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, Wilson Contreras, Jack Caglione, Junior Caminero, Jordan Walker, Ben Rice of the Yankees, and Murakami from the White Sox. Fans in Philly better get their hands up. A 5-pitch inning for Lopez. He needed that. And very quickly, we head to the 4th.
Liberty.
St. Louis Cardinals baseball is presented by your Mid-America Chevy dealers and by BJC Healthcare. You deserve extraordinary care. That is our great director, Tom Mee's backyard. Needs to get the old lawnmower out on this warm, muggy night.
He's got a big backyard, though.
High pop by Ozzie Albies. That's skied toward center. And both offenses are swinging the bats early in the count after a long night at the ballpark last night. Libby's allowed 1 base runner. He has set down 9 consecutive Braves hitters.
Boy, you think about it with Libby, too, the way that he's burying his breaking balls, both the curve and the slider. The Braves are probably thinking, all right, don't want to get to that, so let's swing early. Luckily for Libby, had that little changeup he pulled out there.
Matt Olson next. He struck out his first time up. .49 extra base hits for Matt Olson, 29 of them away from Truist Park. He's an Atlanta kid. Played his high school baseball at Parkview High School, which is north of downtown.
Now, did that part of it, did that help a lot that he was a local kid when he came over? Obviously, he had a resume in the big league level, but I'd imagine having that tie helped.
Yeah, the Braves, I think, have done as good a job as any team of drafting and developing and trading for guys from that part of Braves country. And especially, as you said, you let a guy like Freddie Freeman go, who meant so much to that franchise. Well, you better have a guy that has a resume if you're expecting to compete for World Series championships.
Were you shocked when it happened that Freddie actually went? Because I just remember being obviously on the outside looking in, couldn't believe that he went somewhere else. Thought that would never happen. Was that a shocking thing on the inside?
To a degree, my guess is that it was financially.
Of course.
What Freddie's value was something the Braves weren't comfortable with, and they got younger in Matt Olson. But it's the proverbial deal that worked out well for all parties concerned, as Libby has his 6th strikeout in 3 2/3 innings here at Busch, Jim, where last night it looked like a lake.
Yeah, and heroes don't always wear capes. Sometimes they carry rakes and shovels. Kudos to the Cards ground crew for turning Lake St. Louis into a playable field last night. I talked to Bill Finley, head of the grounds crew, last night. He told me, look, I got a really green crew this season, 16 total guys. This is only the 2nd time they had to do an in-game tarp pull, and they did an amazing job. He said a lot of it is really the field because it drains really well and it can take a lot of water. But, guys, Bill said when it's time for the rain to come and the tarp to come out, he called it chaos in motion.
Well, they did a great job, and if you had told me they were going to finish that game last night as much rain as was standing on this field, I would have said there's no way.
No chance. Oh, that was crazy last night. Look, being the great fan I am when I'm not there, I was rooting for it to be picked up today so we could do 2 games. But that's just me. That's just me.
Little flip out toward left on a 2-strike count, and that's going to kiss the line. Drake Baldwin with a bloop single. That's the first hit of the game for Atlanta, and it comes with 2 outs in the 4th. Libby made a great pitch. Baldwin got bat to ball.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to tip your cap. That's the case here. This is a slider. This thing is down. It's away. It's everything you wanted it to be. Unfortunately, just somehow got batted. I don't even know how he kept this thing fair.
It's only the 2nd Braves base runner, first hit of the game, and now Dubon bats. Libby whiffed him in the 2nd inning. Yeah, talking with some folks before the game as well. There was some talk about maybe canceling the game last night, but the forecast in St. Louis early today was iffy. Nobody wants to play a doubleheader on All-Star Game Getaway Sunday. And quite frankly, the Cardinals are running out of off days to have teams come back to make up ball games. So the decision was made by Major League Baseball and the clubs, I assume, in concert. No matter how long it takes to get this game in last night, we're going to try to do it.
Yeah, and it was a 2-hour and 44-minute delay. Again, an incredible job by the Cardinals bullpen after this thing was cut short. They stepped up big, and a big swing of the bat by Jimmy Crooks.
Hit high in the air toward left, but no carry to that. Newt Barr's got it, and Libby protects his 3-run lead. Randy Flores will tell us about the Cardinals' big draft day as we continue Game 2 in St. Louis.
Bonus bets.
Well, this is a busy day for every big league ball club, and the lifeblood of your present and future is how you draft. And these are the top 3 picks that Randy Flores helped select for St. Louis today. And Randy, I know you've had very little sleep over the last 72 or 96 hours, but first of all, welcome. Congratulations on the first day of the draft.
I appreciate it. It's good to be up here and see some baseball. In draft prep, you spend all summer, all spring looking at baseball players at the field, and then it's prep time. You're in an office for a long time, so it's good to get some clear sky in a baseball game.
Yeah, man, I'm sure a long day for you, for your entire crew over there. 13th overall, you guys end up drafting a high school left-handed bat. Yeah. I'm hearing Pete Crow Armstrong comps now. That's externally, not internally. But what did Trevor Condon, like, what stood out to you guys to make you guys select him there?
Well, he's kind of a dynamic package, and what I mean by that is he can win for you ball games in multiple ways. He has speed, he has defense, he has contact. We do believe that there's even more room for strength to add and to fill out his frame, and power could be a part of his game. And then you just talk about a winning ball player. You think about the modern game and how hard it is to touch the baseball with the bat. He can do that, but then he's not just one-dimensional. You add to that his energy that just comes across, his personality, and his love for the game. Now, that's all nice, but you got to play the game. Sure. And he played against the best competition all summer, excelled all summer, and we were thrilled that he was available.
Last time you had a #1 pick from the state of Georgia. That seemed to work out well this year in Jordan Walker. What is it about the Peach State developing terrific high school and collegiate players?
Look, I'm not going to be the Chamber of Commerce for Atlanta as a Southern California kid, all right? But I will say it is pretty fun to go there and just see the quality of baseball. Obviously, the weather plays a part of it. The chance to play elite competition plays a part of it. And certainly, if we keep hitting it the way we have with Walker, and that extends to Condon, we'd be very lucky.
One of the other comps I heard, and I think Trevor is the guy that talked about this. Folks my age remember Lenny Dykstra.
Oh yeah,
that kind of a style of player. I think that's a really exciting thing to think about.
Yeah, he plays with his hair on fire. You know what? When we were around him, we had him in for a private workout. He's the same guy at that private workout as he is with his team, as he is at the combine. It looks like he's someone who's not only going to demand a lot of himself, but is going to help those around him get the best out of themselves also. You know, he was at a workout with kids who were collegiates, and he wasn't a wallflower there. It was an energy that rang of authenticity of someone who wakes up every day to play this game to the best of he can.
High school player, assuming you signed him, and I assume that's in your plans for all of the guys you selected today, where does a guy like that get placed in your system?
Yeah, so it's going to be dependent on what our player development staff, Rob Cerfolio and Larry Day, as they assess his game readiness. I think Condon's going to be the type who's going to say, I'm ready to play today. I don't need an on-ramp. I don't need to get in shape. Just keep me out there. But obviously, with the lag time that there exists with the end of the high school season, and then the long lag until draft time, and then we have to give him a physical and then sign him, we do want to be careful out of the gate.
Well, a little bit longer year for some of the college guys that you end up selecting. Yeah. What can you tell us about your competitive balance pick, second pick for you guys overall, Tegan Coons?
Just a really, really dynamic fastball.
Okay, like us.
Exactly.
Hey, Brad, my fastball was so bad, they eliminated my job, all right? There are no more lefty special. That's how dynamic I was. They thought the money was better placed somewhere else. But it's someone who has a really dynamic fastball. He holds his velocity well. He has an athletic delivery. And when you see his frame, there's room to add muscle there. You add, obviously, the Tennessee pipeline that we've already tapped a couple of times. And so we know that they know how to prepare themselves for professional baseball. Our pitching group was excited to continue to add to his arsenal and add some pieces to that fastball.
Tell us about the pitching depth in this draft. What was your impression of that before you started selecting players? And what have your colleagues said about what you've seen of guys like the collegiate player that Tegan Coons is, and the high school kids for that matter?
Yeah, so I think that the depth wound up being pretty deep on a couple ways. The collegiate class, we do think that it was a deep class, and hopefully our picks were reflective of that. The other spot is you saw a lot of high school arms get picked later in the draft. I don't mean later, but like after the first 20 picks, because teams were able to bank some significant savings and apply that to a level of horsepower combined with the ability to throw strikes that this high school pitching class, was well set up for. It just didn't pan out that way for us.
Flo, I know that this obviously it's a huge collaborative effort when it comes to draft time, and so many people go into it. But I'm sure that this is a very exciting time for your scouts that are out in the field that are watching these guys day in and day out. Pretty special one for those guys, isn't it?
It's amazing, and the teamwork that goes into it. Just think, a scout embarks tomorrow on scouting for next year's draft, and they do all that work, and they have no idea if the fruit of that work will lead to a selection of their player. And so you're only able to take, about 20 players. And so we have more scouts than players.
Yeah.
And so what's amazing is that the buy-in of our group, the buy-in of our analytics group, the buy-in of those on our PD who contributed so much in adding to the evaluations of these players, and you do all that work and not know the reward. And to do that takes a special type of DNA, and I think we have that.
Well, you saw some of that reward yesterday when your 7th overall pick of the draft a couple of years ago, J.J. Weatherholt, signed an 8-year deal.
Isn't that cool?
What do you feel about that? Because you're responsible for drafting and helping draft him and get him here.
That's a tricky question, because you know what my default is? It's to say it's JJ's credit. It's JJ. Someone was going to draft JJ, okay? I'm so thankful that we were in a position to do it. But it's not just about drafting. It's also about supporting and getting the best out of and giving them instruction, keeping him healthy, right? He fell to us because there were some health concerns. But I don't in any way want our scouting group to take credit for JJ when JJ's the one who's special years before we ever met him.
That being said, Flo, you look at the lineup today, 7 of the 9 were homegrown players.
Yeah.
Like, that is what this organization has been over the years, been about. Obviously what they're about right now.
Yeah.
How excited is your group about what you've been able to build right now at this level?
You still hold on, for dear life, right?
Sure.
They're out there and you want them to perform. And I think Chaim has said, we want this team to build their own culture. And when you get guys who have opportunity, who have runway, and are building something together, pulling for each other, the fact that we've been able to supply that pipeline internally to begin this process is really something our group should be proud of.
Well, it says something, too, about, because your guys' job, get them in the building, right?
Yeah.
And then next step, player development.
Yes.
That has, it feels like over the last few years, really grown leaps and bounds within the organization.
Yeah, I'd say this, BT, when we were going, it took a lot of trial and error in order for us to kind of find our way, I think. I'm not sure how many minor league innings you threw, but I threw 1,100 minor league innings. That's a lot of trial and error to try to figure out kind of how it works for you. It's just a different time. And now there are tools, instruments, curriculum, assessment that can more quickly point you in the right direction on what type of player you could get to tap into your superpower, whether you're a sinker, whether you're a slider, whether your ball has a little bit of hop to it. On the position player side, what's your bat angle? How does your body move? How are you connected? There's actual evidence-based assessment, curriculum, and coaching that can help speed up that process. And now you got to find the right coaches and the right people to make sense of that info, and then have players who are smart enough and adaptable enough to use that to the best of their ability.
And the workload never stops. I'm astounded the scouts go right back out tomorrow and start looking ahead to next year.
How about this? It was actually our scouts before this draft. Before they got here for meetings, they were scouting for next year's draft already, because the high school, about to be high school seniors, and the collegiate players are playing in Cape Cod, or they're playing for the college national team. And so, we talk about baseball and scouting being 365. It might not be 365, but it's maybe 364 and a half.
Yeah.
You do get half a holiday.
Maybe.
So what does tomorrow look like? You've got the first day done today. What's day 2 look like?
So unique is that the draft now is, instead of 3 days, it's 2 days. And this first day, rather than just being rounds 1 and 2, we got through rounds 1 and 4. So now we have rounds 5 through 20 tomorrow. So it's going to be a good, long day. Luckily, so much of the work for tomorrow has already been done. The goal is to not have tonight be a cram session where we're trying to figure out what to do, because that would be a signal that we might not be as prepared as we could have been if we had used the time appropriately. Our group across scouting, player development, physical assessment, mental skills have really put in tangible deliverables to set us up for success tomorrow, hopefully.
So I know that this might be a hard one to answer, but you're a guy that in your major league career, you pitched on the biggest stage, you're dominant in the postseason, played in some big games. There might be some nervous moments. Well, how do those moments stack up to actually drafting a player, like setting up? All right, this is the guy that we're going. Are there any nerves involved in that side of it?
BT, how you were in the bullpen with me for a long time. What were my hands like?
Clammy, if I had to, if there was an adjective, like a little clammy.
Cold and clammy. It was the exact same today. And I let our scouts feel it. They're like, "How's your hands doing, Flo?" And I let them feel how disgusting. You know what I needed today? A rosin bag. I needed a rosin bag. Heim said, "I think, Flo, we might have a rosin bag around here for you
You'd
at
be
the field."
first.
But then I thought my fingers might get stuck on the keyboard.
Okay,
so
that'll happen.
So no rosin bag. But to answer your question, extremely. Look, this city loves this team, this sport. The Cardinals matter so much, and you realize that there are real consequences, and you keep score, and you don't bat 1,000, and you don't want to make mistakes.
Yeah.
But we do make mistakes, and so it's just knowing that the group that we have put a ton of work into it, that hopefully that work bears fruit for this team, and that this team, again, makes this city proud to have us here in town.
What are you looking for specifically on day 2? Is there a position? Is there best player available? What's the mindset?
The further away you get from the first couple rounds, the closer and more compressed the talent base gets.
Blaze Jordan with a base hit to center. Here comes Nootbaar. He's going to score, and Blaze Jordan makes it 4-0. How about this kid?
That's pretty fun.
Not a draft pick, but an acquisition, and he's done a great job of putting the ball in play.
And he's gotten better. That's the fun thing. You talked about development, right? Blaze Jordan was a high school draft pick, and there were questions about his defensive home. And you combine his work ethic with good coaching and good curriculum, and then opportunity, where you're not getting pulled if you make an error your first game, or if you have a bad one, but you're given the time to improve, and it's been fun watching him thrive.
Yeah, it's so cool to see, too, these guys. Look, they're playing some really good baseball this year, but having this experience at the big league level, realizing that you have a chance to grow here, what an invaluable tool for some of these guys here.
Yeah, and it's a slippery slope, right? Because no runway is infinite.
Sure.
And you have to play in the big leagues. One of the biggest things you have to overcome, me and you have experienced that firsthand, is the worry that if I do bad, I will get sent down. Well, guess what? It's the big leagues. It is the big leagues. And so you have to kind of conquer that. But to not have to do that on a game-by-game basis, I bet is freeing for a lot of these guys, and it's cool to see so many of them take advantage of that.
Yeah, Flo, you saw me look over your shoulder there when you said you get sent down. I was looking over your shoulder because up in our booth we have a sign that says, "Welcome to Memphis, the Brad Thompson Expressway." That Chip, my great teammate here, purchased. Yeah, so yes, yeah, that is part of it. But you learn through those things too, like some of the biggest things that you can do, and I'm sure like this is part and parcel when we're talking about player development. Some of the things that you actually want some of your guys to do, I would think, is actually fail at some point, right?
Oh, yes, 100%. Because, and I think Surf has said this, that oftentimes the people who get here and stay here, they do that because of the scars that they experience. Scars heal, right? It's not an open wound. You go through something, it heals, and it better prepares you for the future. And, very few players come to the big leagues and immediately experience this sustained success. Yeah. Going through some of that failure at some point in your career before that happens, I think can prep you for dealing with it when there's 3 decks here in a stadium looking at you.
I think it hardens you if you do it every year of your career, too.
The fact that you still have a soft soul, BT, speaks well of you because, yes, you have a ton of scars.
Speaking of which, are there any potential Brad Thompsons in the draft for the Cardinals
has that been
tomorrow?
a thing? You've been looking at like 88, 89 sinkers. Yeah. Is that back?
Well, I think the modern game is trying to avoid Brad Thompson.
All right.
And so I think if we have any Brad Thompson comps, we send them to the Savannah Bananas.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Sitting next to Randy Johnson now, apparently. Flamethrower.
No, okay, but what I will say is that, okay, when you get further away from the top of the draft, you're not having the flamethrowers, right? You're having people whose talent the industry has said is maybe not that first rounder. So sometimes you are looking for someone who's tough, who's focused, who perseveres, and then could add something, right? You're looking for someone who could add velocity or add a pitch. So good question.
Well, Randy, congratulations on a very busy and hopefully successful first day. Congratulate the guys for us as well.
Awesome.
Can't wait to see what you guys do for us tomorrow.
All right, thanks for having me.
Randy Flores, the great Randy Flores. He's here for a Cardinals 4-0 lead.
Good girl.
So far, so good for the Cardinals. Blaze Jordan with another RBI, and Matthew Liberatore, Brad, has retired 11 of the last 12 Braves hitters. In the 5th inning, he'll start with Austin Riley with a 4-run lead. And I could sit and listen to Randy Flores talk about his philosophies, the draft, how the game works. He has such great knowledge and has such a wonderful way of delivering his message. He's just such a wonderful asset for the Cardinals. And as I said, I can't wait to see what he does in the draft tomorrow, because I think that's really where you distinguish yourself. It's first-round picks are one thing,
sure,
but the fines in the 6th, 7th, and 20th rounds, you get some hits there, boy, you can really take off.
You're
quickly.
absolutely right. And as you said, it's a collaborative effort, right? All the people that they have, all of the scouts, all the front office, all of their work. And I love what he was talking about, too. Tonight shouldn't be a cram session. They've done their work, right? They know exactly what is in store. But you're right. Those are the separators, man. And I really do believe having somebody, and I think it's a rarity to have that skill set, but having somebody that played at the highest level doing this is amazing.
How about that play by Blaze Jordan? A tough hop. And he comes away with a play and gets the force at second. His defense has been a work in progress, and all that hard work paying off at the hot corner.
Well, Flo was just talking about it, right? This guy, they thought, does he have a position? We put in the work. That's your all-state good hands replay. Ranging there to his right, turns, makes a perfect feed. Like what he's growing into. Gets the RBI knock, gets tested defensively.
Double play still in order with the catcher, Joey Bart, up. Well, there's nothing like a play at third to earn an All-State or Play of the Game award.
Good call on that.
The Cardinals have out hit the Braves 5-2 and in for a strike. I want to send along greetings to a lifelong Cardinal fan from the great state of Iowa. Bob Honing is listening tonight. He never misses a game on Cardinals TV. Got a chance to meet Bob on the Cardinals cruise a couple of years ago. He was very complimentary of our work.
I love that. Happy birthday.
So, Bob, hope you're doing well as Liberatore, the quick move to first, almost picked off Eli White. Cardinals pondering taking a look at that one.
Well, let's see here. Oh, the jab step. That hand barely gets in. Burley said, hey, Ollie, let's take a look at it. Maybe two. Boy,
I think from that angle, it looked like he got him. But the artificial eye, I guess, didn't give the Cardinals a good angle. A sinking line drive takes care of Bart, who had a bid for a seeing eye single, but he's retired. 2 men out. Saturday, July 25th, the Cardinals play the Reds. That night, fans will take home an iconic victory blue jersey. That's presented by Stiefel. Medium and extra large sizes available while they last. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Mateo takes a strike. He flied out to center his first trip. 4-0. The Cardinals have the lead. And in the air to left. That's an easy play for Nootbaar, who makes the jumping catch. Libby gives up a leadoff hit, but nothing else. And the eyes have it for the Cardinals. It's 4-0.
Working days before you dig.
Bottom 5-4 Zip Cardinals. J.J. Weatherholt signed that 8-year extension yesterday. Said it came together relatively quickly. He told me, I'm really appreciative of that. He said, I'm having a good year, but realistically, it's a half season in the big league. So for them to make that kind of commitment means a lot. Guys, J.J. said it's going to motivate him and make him work even harder. One of the reasons that the Cardinals wanted to invest And a 23-year-old like that he's so mature. He's like a 10-year veteran, Chip.
Yeah, he is, and he's earned it. I think it's awesome. I think it's great for the organization. I think it's great for JJ, the security he has now. All he has to do now, Brad, is go out and get better at his game, get better at his craft.
Yeah, no, and there's no doubt he's got the work ethic to do it. I am interested, though, Jim, any chance that he has shed any light on what is the big first purchase? Does he have a first purchase? Is this one lifted out to left for the first out?
You know, he's so mature, and I kind of feel like even at my age, he's more mature than me. So when a guy drops on you, look, they invested in me, and I want to prove them right, and I'm going to get to work and work even harder. I didn't feel like I was going to ask him what he's going to buy.
All right.
But to be honest, though, like he's the kind of guy that you know money isn't going to be a distraction. Young guys, you never know what the future holds. You just know that this guy wants to win, and he's going to work toward that.
All right, he might be too humble. Let's talk about it for him. What's the first thing he's going to buy? I don't know JJ like inside and out, but I would think fishing boat. Like he probably has one, but it's time to upgrade now. You just signed a long-term deal. Avid fisherman, maybe a nice new boat. What do you think?
I'm not going with boat. I think he's more low-key than that. I'm going to guess a new fishing rod and reel.
A rod and reel.
Yeah.
Like, how expensive do rod and reels get? So I went shopping for a rod and reel last year, Chip, and I got one, and it looked easy. I'm like, oh, you just put your thumb right there, and then boom, it's good. It was called a bait caster. Okay. And for anybody that knows anything about fishing, apparently that's not the easiest one. All I got every single time I would cast it is just a rat's nest every single time.
Those are tough to master.
So no doubt. So I'm going back to the old Zepco. It's nice and easy.
Yeah, that's the one you just push the button and you flip the wrist. And,
forget the other one. But I don't know, like, how much can you really spend on a good rig? Can't be that much.
Don't know the answer to that.
$1,000 maybe? I mean, that's a ton of money for a rod and reel, but drop in the bucket. He needs a boat. And then we need to name it for him.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, JJ, doesn't that look kind of like a couple of fish hooks?
Sure does.
So we could start with that.
Yeah, just maybe. JJ.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just clever. Maybe you don't even need anything more than that. But we will.
Bouncing ball foul past third. Full count for Ivan Herrera.
So, I mean, you live near the water. Do you fish at all?
No, not too much. Got friends that do.
Yeah.
And it's always fun when they invite you because, like you said, it's their boat, their gas, their stuff.
This is all their problem.
Yeah.
I'll bring beverages or something.
Yeah, maybe.
That's the way to go.
Oh, yeah.
That's having a friend with a boat, that could be the friend right there. No doubt about it.
Like the way you think. Full count for Herrera. It was 1 for 2 with a run scored tonight. And right through the wickets towards second. Albies, good play to his right, skips it to first. That was a nifty play. And 2 men are out. Watch this. Right through the legs of Lopez, but Albies to his right.
Well positioned. Also knew he had time. Ozzie does a nice job using the turf on an easy one-hopper over there to Olsen.
Burley 0 for 2, flied to deep center in the first and tapped out to first in his second trip to the plate. Boy, I really like the way the Cardinals finished with the Braves last night. Chance to win this one tonight. Maybe a chance to sweep the series if you can win these last 2. Go into the All-Star break with some momentum. Human nature being what it is after the first 95 games of the season and that All-Star break approaching, it's easy to kind of look ahead to the break and not take care of business at hand. This team's trying to do that. This is a tough stretch, 14 games in 13 days, and the Cardinals are holding their own.
No, it is. It can be tough. I think it's a little easier, though, with a young team like this. You know, they are all fighting for something.
That's skied to left by Burley. 3 up, 3 down in the 5th. Ali Marmol's squad has a 4-run lead halfway through game 2 against the Braves. It's Bravo night, Friday, July 24th. Fans with a team ticket take home an exclusive Cardinals Bravo cap. Upgrade to a VIP ticket and attend a pregame happy hour with 2 Atlanta housewives. I'm not sure if she's one or not. Never know. Details at cardinals.com/theme.
I haven't been following along well enough, but I have to dig back into that. Well, a guy who was a house husband once.
On the ground, Michael Harris picks on the first pitch, and he has the 3rd Atlanta hit. So this will be the challenge for Libby in a season where there have been some really high points and some really low ones. One thing you want to see Matthew improve on in the second half, getting through the lineup a 3rd time.
Yeah, it's about growth throughout the season, right? We saw some big leaps and bounds from Matthew a year ago in his first full season as a big league starter. Now how does he continue to build off of that?
Brewers lost today 3-2. The Pirates beat them. Chance to gain some ground in the divisional race. Nootbaar playing deeply, now gallops in to handle a soft pop-up from Ozzie Albies, who's 0 for 2. 1 on, 1 out. Olsen's next. He has struck out twice.
Good fastball in there by Libby. Libby early on was really leaning on the curveball and the slider. Both those pitches have been good. Now starting to establish that fastball a little bit more. That's part of it 3rd time around, pitching backwards.
.25 homers, 24 doubles for Matt Olson before the All-Star break. He's the first ever Brave to do that. Not Hank Aaron, not Dale Murphy, not Chipper Jones. It's Matt Olson. No balls and a strike. And rolled foul past first base. We'll wrap up the first half tomorrow. J.R. Ritchie will pitch for Atlanta. Dustin May will pitch for the Cardinals. May was on a pitch count in his last outing and looked terrific after he took a batted ball to the foot against Atlanta down at Truist Park. Ryan Stanek is up in the Cardinals pen. Look how efficiently Libby has worked. Just 66 pitches with 1 out in the 6th inning. I would imagine with Olson and then Baldwin, the 2 left-handed bats, you give Libby a shot to get this inning over with those 2 guys. And if you can't, well, you've got Stanek ready for that run of righties at the bottom of the lineup card.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, you want him to be able to finish strong and feel good about the outing. You also are trying to rack as many wins as you possibly can, so you're not going to overextend your guy.
Ground ball into right center field. A 2-strike hit for Olson. And the Braves have runners 1st and 3rd with 1 out. So that's a rare mistake with 2 strikes for Libby. His first inning with 2 hits allowed. And the Braves threaten here with 1 out and Baldwin coming up.
Well, Libby tried to pitch backwards here. He wanted to get this fastball out of the zone, looking for it up above. You see where Herrera wanted it. Unfortunately, Chevy pitch track shows just stayed at the top of the zone. Olson able to cover it. Harris easily 1st to 3rd.
Baldwin picked up the first Atlanta hit on a really good pitch. It was darting down and away from Drake, and he was able to pop it down the left field line. He is a double play candidate. And one thing you really don't have to worry about much is Olson at first. For all of his talents at the plate, he is not the fastest base runner. Baldwin, a Rookie of the Year. That earned Atlanta another first-round pick in the draft. Same would be true for the Cardinals if J.J. Weatherholt wins that honor. You get a bonus compensation pick. That one in the dirt, ball 2.
Yeah, I like that change in the rules there, where it just gives that incentive for teams to run that rookie out there. If you believe that he is ready, these draft picks, we know how important they are. We just got done talking to Randy Flores, who had 7 picks his group did today. Hopefully some franchise changers.
JJ's got it. There's one. There's Mason's arm, and Burley scooped it. What a play. 2 long throws, and the great equalizer, Mason Wynn. Matthew Liberatore threw 6 innings for the first time since May 7th. The Cardinals, doing it all in Game 2, are shutting out the Braves.
Big money at Menards.
Jordan Walker practiced his home run derby swing earlier today with his pitcher, Cleninger Tehran. He said it went really well, Jordan did, but he told me this. He said, I got to remember to take my time. It's not time-based anymore, and I forgot how tired you get. He said, I've got some cues to work on, but I realized with so many people watching that night, it's going to be different. And guys, he said, he wants to have fun, but he is there to compete.
It's going to be a great home run derby, and the short portion left for a right-handed hitter at Citizens Bank Park might be awfully fun if Walker can connect.
Jordan today was hitting some tank shots. He was putting them up on the concourse out there in left field. Unfortunately, this one gets in on the hands. But I mean, he was locked and loaded. I like the new format too. Instead of just the clock running down and guys swinging wildly, I like that it's going to be round 1 is 20 swings each for each guy. I think that will benefit him. Take a look at your Chevy call to the bullpen. Owen Murphy in on the action. He almost took out a couple of ushers out there getting ready for the day.
Well, we don't want that to happen.
Luckily, they're fleet-footed.
No balls and a strike for Nootbaar. A 3-run homer in the first inning. He walked, stole a base, and scored on a Blaze Jordan single. So good night for Nootbaar as he slashes that one toward the gap in left center, and Michael Harris the second. Hey, great catch and the swim move on the turf. Owen Murphy like that, and he should. 2 outs.
This is an incredible play right here in center field. Already had him shaded that way a little bit, but that ball off the bat of a left-hander, that is going to continue to tail away from Harris. What a play.
Man, they've had some great center fielders in Atlanta. Dale Murphy, Andrew Jones, Marquise Grissom, now Michael Harris the second. He took away a base hit, and Mason Wynn. He's taken away his share of hits as the Cardinals shortstop. Mason is 0 for 2 in the game tonight. Because of all the injuries to the Braves starting rotation, their relief corps has had to throw a lot. 5th most innings in the major leagues in July. Cardinals know all about that. Their bullpen's thrown almost 50 innings this month. But it's a good group. And if you're playing them, you'd prefer to be leading than trailing by 4.
I like where they're at right now, that's for sure.
Matt Olson handles that. Quick inning for Murphy. 3 up and 3 men down. Game 2 moves to the 7th inning. Well, partner Matthew Liberatore's had the Braves number this year. 11 innings of 1-run ball in 2 starts. He's our BJC Healthcare difference maker.
Chip, he had the breaking stuff going early, too, racking up a bunch of those strikeouts on the curveball and on the slider. Thought he did a fantastic job of working ahead, just getting ahead of the competition, going right after this Braves lineup, and put together a really nice outing. Get another look here at the rookie, Luis Castellum, in on the action, his 3rd game of the season. We know his changeup is his bread and butter.
First pitch is hammered to left. Welcome to the game. It's a solo home run. Dubon will take the grand tour, and the Braves trail by 3.
Well, Castellum went with the sweeper first pitch. Dubon was not fooled on that one. Let's see where it was in the zone. Your Chevy pitch tracks here. Backed up, center cut. Well, and these are some of the things we were talking about with Randy, right? Like, you want to see your guys get to the big leagues. You certainly want to see them have success, but you're going to scuffle, and there are going to be things that happen. What adjustments do you make? One of the things that Ollie talked about a lot with Gasty is that he's not scared. He's not afraid of a situation. So one swing of the bat certainly is not going to change the mentality for this young man. There's that change up, right on right. Bottom drops out of it.
Yeah, you'll see Ollie use Luis in different situations. He's got all the right-handed bats coming up now, but that changeup is effective righty or lefty, and it's been a really good pitch against the righties too, as you see the swings from Austin Riley here.
You went back-to-back, had him out in front. I wouldn't be afraid to throw it again.
Strike three, a late call. Riley looks back, and Gastelum has out number one.
Well, Dan Iasonia behind the plate is probably telling Riley, you don't like it, you got a challenge. Maybe should have used it here. 95-mile-an-hour heater, though, ends up freezing him.
So 1 in, 1 out for Eli White. White, a proud part of Braves country, played college ball at Clemson. That is inside the line at third. Jordan was playing in at the hot corner, and Eli White will stroll into second. So 2 extra base hits for the Braves here as they mount a 7th inning rally. Joey Bart is the scheduled batter. Let's see what he does after a quick word from Victory Men's Health.
Realized that my testosterone levels were extremely low. Addressed that with TRT, B12 shots, vitamins. I've never felt better.
Visit VictoryMen'sHealth.com today.
Bart 0 for 2. First time he's thrown the sweeper in the inning. That was a nice pitch. He's ready for his 9th of the inning as we approach 8 o'clock. And that one just a touch low.
Dan Iasonia is asking him, hey, did you just tap your head? He said, yes, sir. Yes, I did. I like this one at the bottom of the zone. We'll see if ABS likes it.
Elon's never wrong. And he continues that trend. ABS powered by T-Mobile makes it 0-2. There's a lot of confusion about how you pronounce Gastelum's last name before he was put in a big league game. You called him Gasty a second ago.
That is the way.
That's easy. That's for sure. Luis will work.
Yep.
But we're told it is pronounced Gastelum.
Yeah, if I were to phonetically do it, it would be lowercase G-A-H-S, so Gas.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Gas, not gas, Gas.
Yep, okay.
Capital T-A-Y, and then L-U-M-E.
Yeah, it's too short. I was going with the Cardinals radio booth pronunciation on that, so I will defer to your knowledge. So do it again so we get it right.
Gas. Te-lum. But the Te-lum like comes together like Gastelum. Te-lum. Like, it comes together pretty quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, no big deal.
Gastelum.
It's fine. I hope we're saying it a lot. I know that.
Yeah, exactly.
And I could be wrong. Who knows?
Jim Jarvis is going to grab a bat and hit for Mateo here. Jarvis, another speedy infielder. Tell you what, Gasty needs a mane and tail shampoo endorsement. Look at those flowing locks.
It's pretty good. Thinking about doing that too, Chip.
Growing it out?
Yeah. I feel like I'd look like Joe Dirt, though. Just grow in like just all straight and wispy. Then I could grow out my catfish mustache.
How long do you think it would take you to grow a mustache? Seriously.
Like how legit of a mustache? Like I could come in with like a look of a mustache tomorrow, like a good shadowing.
Yeah.
And then give me a couple of days, and I can give you something.
Okay, I want to see a mustache.
And after All-Star break mustache,
Correct.
just grow it out.
Correct.
You can't even look at myself in the mirror.
When we play the Diamondbacks in the makeup game after the All-Star break here, I expect a mustache.
Oh my goodness, we'll see. We'll see. I'll send you a day by day.
I'll do it with you.
Yeah, but you could probably grow like a real man mustache. Mine's going to come in awfully wispy.
In 5 minutes, the pitch. Swing and a miss. There's the change. And that pitch is why you might see Luis face a lot of lefties, even though he's right-handed.
Yeah, look, there's no secrets anymore. A guy comes up and it's like, oh, I heard he might have a good changeup. No, they've seen it. They know the metrics on the pitch. But even when you know it's coming, it's still a difficult one to square up. Another one, you knew back-to-back he was going to get it. Fouled off the end of the bat. That's how good that offering is. That's how much he also sells it. It all looks the same. And then he's able to sneak that fastball by late.
Like Devin Williams with the airbender. Former Brewer, now Yankee, and then Met.
Yeah, that pitch does defy gravity. Once you end up getting a name for a pitch, you've done something special.
2-2 pops out of the glove and a full count. Don't want to walk this guy, not with Harris waiting on deck. And his 16 homer power. Dumont hit the first pitch out of the park for a solo homer, strikeout, double, ground out. And now a very important pitch in a 4-1 game. Swing and a miss. That was an airbender. Gastelum gives up one, but not the lead as we stretch in St. Louis.
Right.
St. Louis Cardinals baseball is presented by Central Bank, the hometown bank of the St. Louis Cardinals. Visit cardinalschecking.com. And by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. I'm with my bud Brad Thompson. Chip Carey, our next to last game before the All-Star break, and the Cardinals poured it on early against Reynaldo Lopez. They tallied 4 runs against him and lead game 2 of the series 4-1. Lower third coming up. Torres, Jordan, Church. Torres has had a nice night. He tripled his first time up, was left stranded in the second, and had a 10-pitch trip to the plate in the 4th. He kicks off our Honda home run inning. If he can hit one out, your Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Right size, wrong shape, as Hawk Harrelson would say. A ball and a strike. Jim Jarvis stays in the game for Atlanta. He's at shortstop. As Murphy back to work. It's a good breaking ball, and Torres wants to challenge that. Cardinals have 2 of them. ABS powered by T-Mobile. Let's see if Brian's right. He is.
I like that he was confident enough to do that in that spot, right? Instead of just take that, he ends up flipping the count.
Two balls and a strike. Now 3-1.
I feel like, Chip, with some of these ABS challenges, every team's different, right? Philosophically, how they want to utilize them. I think that Ollie has given his team kind of giving them the benefit of the doubt. Hey, so if you believe you have it right, go for it.
That bounces over Ollie's head into the Cardinals dugout. As the Redbirds take aim at Owen Murphy, a first-round pick by the Braves in the 2022 draft. He was on his way to Notre Dame. And now getting big league action in the bullpen. That smoke to center, but Harris hardly had to move. Well hit. But Murphy's retired 4 in a row. 1 man out. Let's check out our Bet365 betting odds update. Blaze Jordan, let's see if he can make it a multi-hit game. He's got hits now in 12 of his first 23 big league games. 14 ribbies for Blaze Jordan this year. Murphy, another big league pitcher who had to go through Tommy John surgery. That was in 2024. Made his big league debut against the Mets on July 6th. He's 22 years young, out of Chicago. 1 ball, 1 strike. And lifted out of play. Speaking of Chicago, Cubs 3, Reds 3. That game's in the 6th inning in Cincinnati. Cardinals start play tonight. 2 games behind the Marlins for the 3rd wild card. Miami has been playing great since June the 1st. That's strike 3, outside corner. Join the Cardinals in supporting Venezuela recovery efforts today and tomorrow only. Purchase any 2026 single game ticket and a portion of the proceeds will benefit Convoy of Hope. Learn more and get your tickets at cardinals.com/Venezuela. First strikeout for Murphy, 2 outs in the 7th. Oh man, the heartbreaking stories out of Venezuela after the earthquake of a couple of weeks ago just continue to amaze. So many in our game from that beautiful country. And we hope and pray all are recovering as best as can be done. Church 0 for 2, a couple of ground outs for him. He's got 1 hit in his last 18 trips. George Soriano's up in the Cardinals bullpen. The Braves will have their top 4 hitters coming up in the 8th, down 3 runs. A win tonight clinches the head-to-head season series for the Cardinals over Atlanta. We took 2 out of 3 at Truist Park, 1 late last night, and are winning 4-1 tonight.
Well, Walt Weiss's team, you mentioned it, Chip, they've been banged up. They've been struggling as of late. This has not been the best run. 9-18 over their last 27. Worst record since June 9th in all of baseball as Nathan Church is battling. But this group is plenty talented. Chris Sale, one of the best in the game there.
He was rolling, a ton of strikeouts in 3 innings before the rains came. As that's fouled straight back, but and for Atlanta, think about it. They've lost 2 starters, 4 big-time relievers, 1 of their starting catchers, their starting shortstop, and their starting right fielder, yet they still lead their division.
Yeah, it's amazing. It really is.
Pitch number 7 for Church is fouled back.
Doing it again, making them work.
And last note on Atlanta, I'm assuming their goal is keep it afloat until they get healthy. They know in September they've got 7 games head-to-head with the Phillies. Man, will those be exciting. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And popped out of play. If I'm reading the scoreboard right, the Brewers lost not just 1 game, but 2 games today. They had a makeup doubleheader today. And Pittsburgh, I think, won them both 1-run games. So it could be a very productive night for St. Louis. Church with a terrific trip to the plate.
Man. Now the 10th pitch of the at-bat coming yet again here for Church. Talk about it a lot with him. This is part of the evolution for Church. That's 6 straight fouled off.
Young right-hander rocks on the rubber. Here it is, a breaking ball high. One of the funny stories of this season was Nathan, who's trying to control the strike zone more, drew a base on balls and looked into the dugout and hands up like a little kid at Christmas. I walked.
Yeah, right. Christmas is the perfect one. I got a bike.
Yeah. But not this time. A long trip to the plate. 11 pitches. But Murphy has retired all 6 Cardinals as the top of the Atlanta orders coming up in the 8th inning.
Scott Warman with you from our Ballpark Village studios. Join myself, Al Raboski, as we will have Cardinal postgame presented by CarShield. We'll talk about new energizing the offense and, of course, the terrific start by Matthew Liberatore. It's all coming up after the game as we have a pitching change. Chip?
You are right about that, Scott Warman. Look forward to the post-game show after a Cardinals winner tonight. That pitcher, George Soriano, the second answer, a Chevy Colt to the bullpen. Top of the order, and Harris swings at the first one and skies it toward right. And Jordan Walker is in and under for out number 1. Base is empty. We step aside for a quick word from BJC Healthcare. Ozzie Albies is 0 for 2. He's hit the ball in the air twice, and he's walked. Tarps off. Crowd has grown by the inning. And they were just saluting Cardinals All-Star Jordan Walker. Talk about a jolt of energy that group has given us at Busch Stadium this summer. That's one of the unforgettable scenes of the campaign.
I love the staying power that it's had. I mean, it really has been a cool thing to watch. And again, I do love it. Love watching that section throughout the entire game get bigger and bigger, especially the games where Cardinals offense is cranking a little bit. Boy, they get loud.
Albies didn't get that. Boy, from Gastelum to Soriano, it's changeup after changeup.
Well, again, you mentioned it with Gasty that he's kind of a de facto lefty. Well, Soriano can play that same role. Splits are pretty even for him. He's got a really nice changeup as well. There it is.
A good hitter was made to look bad on that pitch. Wow, 2 outs in the 8th inning.
Watch this thing take off. This changeup coming in at 90 miles an hour, tumbling. I mean, that thing moved a couple feet.
So the Cardinals have struck out 9 Braves hitters in the game. They've gotten Matt Olson twice. Matt with a single in the 6th inning. He was erased on an inning-ending double play. I think Soriano's another great story for St. Louis. Got him in a deal from the Washington Nationals. We didn't really know what to make of George, who'd been with the Marlins and the Nationals. But St. Louis saw something in the data, changed a grip. And that pitch and that gyro slider has made him very, very effective out of the Cardinals bullpen.
You're right. Look, another guy that's always had a big arm but has struggled to put it together consistently. And I think the Cardinals did a really good job too with him. And he put in the work, right, making these adjustments, but building him up to leverage roles. Like that is a thing. You can't just get a guy just because he has good stuff doesn't mean he can pitch in the 8th inning of a 3-run ball game, right? You have to be able to build him up to that point, build that confidence up. It's much more than just the, hey, we've changed a grip or we've changed the shape of something. You also have to change the mentality of a pitcher, and I feel like George has got it going now.
Strike 3 outside corner. Couple of strikeouts for Soriano. He buzzes through the 1-2-3 portion of the Braves lineup in the 8th inning.
Love nursing.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Redbirds aren't horsing around tonight. They got 4 early against Atlanta. Matthew Liberatore pitched terrifically through 6 innings. Nootbaar, a 3-run homer, got the party started, and it's 4-1 in the home 8th. Top of the order, J.J. Weatherholt gets it started. He's 0 for 3 tonight. And Owen Murphy doing a nice job for the Braves, trying to save their bullpen for the series wrap up tomorrow. He's starting his 3rd inning of relief. 6 up, 6 down with a couple of strikeouts for Owen. Two balls, one strike. Weatherholt, Herrera, and Burleson coming up. Just a crisp, clean, well-pitched, well-played game for St. Louis tonight. And that was a close call. It missed inside. Good eye for Weatherholt.
Still amazes me with JJ, and maybe it shouldn't, but his demeanor never changes. Doesn't matter if he is having a rough day, having a great day, close call at the plate, whatever it is, he is the same guy.
Patience of a fisherman.
Boy, that's why I stink at fishing. It's not me just not knowing how to cast the old bait caster. My patience are awful.
Really?
Like sitting there waiting for something. I am the cast reel. Like if I don't catch it right away.
Strike three. Weatherholt knew that. 3 straight punch outs for Murphy. And 1 away for him. Our Budweiser, what's on tap? Dustin May looked terrific his last time out. Let's see if he can finish the first half with a flourish.
Yeah, he was really good. The only reason he didn't go longer in that game against the Brewers, remember, he was coming off of a couple of short outings, especially the 2 ago where he ended up getting that comebacker off the ankle. Didn't walk anybody. Struck out 7 in his 4 2/3. So looking forward to seeing more of Dustin May before the All-Star break.
Herrera 1 for 3, an infield hit. Generously scored a hit, but he'll take it. Strike 1. So you're not a fan of the bait casting reel. How about the Popeil's pocket fisherman?
Dude, the little guy that like you can pull it out and then boom, zzz, like that one? Is that it?
I think that's one way you can describe
little
it.
guy, like it's telescoping, right? Yeah, that's what I meant when I said pull it out, and then
Didn't know it had
with me
sound
casting
effects.
it. Yeah, of course they all have. We've talked about this. Everything's got a sound effect. Yeah, that thing is great. That is a really good, sturdy. That's more up my alley. I want to get better at it though, because my son wants to fish all the time, and I know nothing. I feel like a horrible dad. I don't know what I'm doing. Dad, can we fish? I'm like, I don't know. Can we? I have no idea.
Well, you'll have a few days to practice.
Yeah, we're going to Vegas.
Oh,
not a ton of fishing.
You have a few days to practice when you get back from Vegas.
Yeah, they do have Lake Mead. Could go out there.
2 strikes. And out of play. I expect a full report on the A's ballpark. If you're
gonna have to check
downtown.
it out. Yeah, I mean, flying right into the airport, it's right there.
Yep.
Drive by the site. What used to be the Tropicana now will be the new home of the Las Vegas Athletics.
They say they're on time for 2028. That'll be exciting. Upstairs, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Your son Chris get a place out in Vegas yet?
Not yet. Keep telling him.
Does he want to stay with my parents?
Oh, sure.
Probably cheap rent.
Yeah.
Great cooks.
Okay.
Good people.
That's back toward us.
I haven't asked them yet, but they're probably watching, so I'll probably get a thumbs up soon.
Chris, I think would be
he'd be a perfect tenant.
A terrific tenant.
Yeah.
Tenant, house guest, whatever term you want to use.
That depends if you're charging them or not, which I don't think they would.
Oh, that went off the bat, I think. Yep, foul ball. Yeah, but what an exciting time for baseball.
Yeah, it is.
New market and a good young team, although the A's limping into the All-Star break. Nick Kurtz had to go to the IL.
Yeah, that hurts.
Zach Geloff.
That hurts big time. Yeah, Vegas went from no pro teams to seemingly all of them. Sure, the NBA's not that far in the offing either.
1-2 pitch. Pop fly out of play. Have you been to the Sphere yet?
No, I want to go. I know you have been, right?
Saw the Eagles.
The Eagles, yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's really
so I
well
look
done.
when we're in town. They have Backstreet Boys is there one night, and then they have the Wizard of Oz thing going on, which I've heard is awesome too. I just want to see it.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And that stayed upstairs to even the count. I would recommend The Wizard of Oz. I've heard rave reviews about that.
Have you?
It's the old movie, and they just the whole.
My folks went to it. They said it was cool.
The whole
really
building's
cool.
a screen. It's
during the tornado, like the wind is going. You can feel like the moisture somehow. I don't know how they do these things. It's amazing. But I want to go.
So I'm planning your itinerary on the fly. It's your hometown. What do I know?
Yeah, I don't know anything. That's what everybody says. Like, where do I go in Vegas? I'm like, you want to go to my parents' house? That's what I do.
11th pitch hit high in the air down the line. Long run. And Dubon's going to catch that. Long trip to the plate. 11 pitches for Herrera, but he's out number 2. Kids, this one's for you. On the 26th of July, the Cardinals face the Cincinnati Reds. That day, kids 12 and under will score a Fredbird hat. That's a good-looking lid. Get your tickets and info at cardinals.com/promotions.
Yeah, that kid right there is going to look good in one of those lids. I want one of those.
And we'll have Kids Day here tomorrow as that one stroked toward right center. Harris on the fly makes a great running catch. That's 2 terrific plays for Harris in the last couple of innings. 3 up, 3 down. To the 9th we go. All-star Riley O'Brien will try to nail down a Redbirds win.
For life.
Well, pal, a fun night tonight. Our Budweiser plays of the game. It starts with Matthew Liberatore on the mound.
Yeah, absolutely. Matthew Liberatore solid through 6 innings. Struck out 6. The breaking ball was working really well. Had some tight spin on it. And a big swing of the bat by Lars Nootbaar. That was a bomb. The 3-run shot in the first inning really set the tempo for this ball game.
Riley O'Brien's on a very nice roll. Brad, look at what he has done. If I can find the card over his last 6 games.
Whoa, no need for a card. I got all that memorized upstairs, Chip. 6 innings, 2 hits, a walk, 5 Ks. Thanks for that card. 105 batting average.
That was the part you didn't have memorized.
Yep, that was the one. No, he's been really good. He's got that confidence. You can only imagine, too, like being named an all-star, that's got to be a confidence boost also, right? That just keeps on growing for Riley O'Brien.
Drake Baldwin, the DH, greets him first, and he takes a strike. Riley trying to save Matthew Liberatore's 5th win and earn his 24th save. He's averaging a strikeout per inning pitched, and that's the big key. Throws strikes. Only Juan Duran of the Phillies has more saves than Riley O'Brien. That's not a good start. Ball 4. That starts a rally for Atlanta. And Mauricio Dubon is up. Let's check out his home run. StatCast powered by Google Cloud.
Well, he was up there first pitch swinging against Castellum and ended up getting a sweeper down the middle and drove it out of the ballpark. That for Dubon, his 10th home run of the season, that 401-foot shot.
Backed away from that pitch, and it was a beauty. Strike 1. So a lot of good stories for the Cardinals today. They're winning game 2 of this series. They made 7 selections on the first day of the amateur draft. Had him off stride with a breaking ball. The Cardinals' first pick, number 13 overall, Trevor Condon out of Etowah High School in Woodstock, Georgia. That's about, I don't know, 8-10 miles north of Truist Park in Atlanta.
Man, it's a talent hotbed out there, isn't it?
Yeah, Woodstock, Georgia is where Nick Markakis used to live. Tegan Coons, the competitive balance pick out of Tennessee. Right-handed pitcher. The Cardinals' 2nd-round pick, Rocco Maniscalco, out of Oxford, Alabama High School.
Shortstop.
17 years old is he. Competitive round pick B, 68th overall, Andrew Williamson out of the University of Central Florida. And a pop to second, takes care of Dubon. Might have broken his bat. 1 on, 1 out in the 9th. Cardinals also took right-hander Dawson Montesa out of West Virginia, outfielder Caden Ferraro out of Texas Tech, and a shortstop D. Kennedy out of Kansas State.
Well, congratulations to all these new, hopefully, Cardinals. Still got to get these guys all signed up, but what an exciting day for the organization and for each one of these kids and their families.
Best part about the draft is, as you said, getting them signed, getting them in, and you don't know if it's a cup of coffee or the start of a career that might end up in Cooperstown.
Yeah, it is so exciting, though, as we mentioned when we had Randy Flores, scouting director, assistant GM of the Cardinals, on. You look at the lineup today, 7 of the 9 were homegrown talents.
To right center, Church with a terrific run. Riley O'Brien wins the 9th inning Riley versus Riley matchup. 2 outs. And Eli White, the scheduled hitter. Let's see if he's taken down. He will be. Dom Smith will pinch hit. Nice crowd tonight, over 29,000, and all the Cardinals faithful are up here at Busch Stadium. Baldwin takes a free base on defensive indifference. His run doesn't matter a bit. Let's get Dom Smith and get Freebird rolling at 8:30 Central Time. Pitch a little high to even the count. Dominic Smith has 3 pinch hits on the season and almost got hit, and well, it's not almost, he did get hit. Now things get a little dicier. A hit batsman will bring the tying run to the plate with 2 outs.
This big sweeper here was trying to get him to swing and miss over the top of it, just pulled it too far inside, and absolutely playing with some trouble here.
Well, Joey Bart 0 for 3. So a walk and a hit batsman. Everybody on their feet in St. Louis. A little nervous in the 9th. And that one paints at 98. Good sinker.
Stay with that all day. They are going to challenge this one. I think this is a strike. This is a pretty good pitch here by Riley O'Brien.
0-1 the count. Atlanta has 1 challenge, 1 out left in the game.
Obviously, you're looking to stay away from the ball up in the air. Good luck trying to elevate 98 with that kind of sink at the bottom of the zone.
Broken bat. The barrel ends up skimming under the feet of Riley O'Brien. That bat broke lengthwise, and the barrel ends out behind the mound between the hill and second base. What if that bat had a crack in it?
What an interesting noise this thing makes. Listen to this. Backup sinker. Oh, my goodness. Oh, yeah, there's some firewood for you.
Right off the trademark, maybe. So 1 more strike to get. It's 0-2, and here it is, way outside to the Atlanta catcher.
I like those numbers right there. Bart has struggled with 2 strikes, 50% strikeout rate. How about another one here?
Strike 3 call. That's your ball game. Cardinals have won the series. They've won the season series against Atlanta. And now, Brad, they've got their 50th win, a 4-1 final.
Well, another save for Riley O'Brien. A big day at the plate for Lars Nootbaar. The 3-run shot in the first inning. A well-pitched ball game all around. Matthew Liberatore was 6 strong. I mean, this ball game had everything the Cardinals wanted. You made a great point earlier about a clean, tight ball game. That's not easy to do after you had the night that you did last night. 2-hour, 44-minute rain delay for Ollie's Ball Club. They were ready for it last night, and they answered the bell again today.
Just a great pitching performance, too, for Matthew Liberatore, Brad. As I said, first time he's pitched 6 innings in a game since early May. And Atlanta has been the team that he's needed to see. 1 earned run in 11 innings against a really good Braves ball club.
Yeah, they are very good, and I thought that his breaking stuff was really good early, and some of the Braves hitters told you how tight the breaking ball was. Both the curveball and the slider for Matthew Liberatore in this ball game just did not have comfortable swings, but he did a nice job of when he missed off the plate, didn't miss in the middle.
And got a first inning cushion. It's always, I'm sure, easier to pitch when you've got a little margin for error, and Lars Nootbaar provided that.
Yeah, needed this, man. Went down and got a breaking ball, deposited that thing over the bullpen in right field, gave the Cardinals an early lead, and that one held up very easily in this ball game.
And Lars Nootbaar is our star of the game interview, standing by with Jim Hayes.
Yeah, Newt got the offense going for the Cardinals early. 3-run homer in the first. You got a 1-2 curveball at the bottom of the zone. What were you looking for there?
You know, obviously in that situation, he had my number the other day, and so it's nice to always be able to get a guy pretty close so you have an idea of what they're doing there. But honestly, was just looking for something in the zone to drive and was able to do that.
31 games since you returned from double heel surgery. How are you feeling physically and at the plate?
You know, working on both, and so I obviously feel better right now than I did at all past year or 2 years ago or anything like that. But work in progress on that, and then hitting, you know, that's why we love baseball, because you feel good one day, you feel bad the other, but you grind through it.
Libby, 6 scoreless, 6 Ks. How good was he?
He was unbelievable. I thought in the first couple innings we were going to be able to take a day off on defense, and when he's on like that, he's one of the best pitchers in baseball, and so he proved it tonight and had a great game.
You guys hit the break tomorrow. Baseball hits the break tomorrow. How would you assess what you guys were able to do so far?
We got one more game. Hopefully we can end it on a series sweep, but I think we beat all expectations so far, and you know, we're looking to keep going in the second half for sure.
Thanks, Newt. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
All right, Lars Nootbaar.
Thank you, Jim Hayes. Great night for him. Great night for Libby and the Cardinals bullpen. 4-1, a series winner, Brad. Now let's get greedy and sweep the Braves back to Atlanta.
Yeah, that is the plan with Dustin May on the mound. Hopefully he picks up right where he left off last time out. The All-Star break is coming, but no room to rest yet.
Dustin May has the ball for the Redbirds. Our coverage starts at 12:30 Central Time as we finish up the first half of the season with game number 95 in 2026. 4-1, it's a Redbirds winner. Brad and I will see you at the ballpark tomorrow.